Hello everyone, this is Dinsdale 1978, coming to you from Team MP, and I'm bringing you some Battlefield 3 tips here. I know one thing that my teammates have been crying for recently, I'm not crying but asking, we'll say, is some tips on how to fly jets and fly helicopters, because they made flight in Battlefield 3 a little more challenging, much like it was in Battlefield 2. So I'm going to show you first how to fly a jet. I thought jets were going to be impossible for me at first, and I'm finding that I love them more and more, and I spend too much time in the air and not enough time capturing points. So there's another good tip. Pay attention to what's going on the ground in Conquest especially, because if you're losing, get out of the jet, capture some points, get back in the jet. Anyhow, so the basic controls, using the left trigger, or the right trigger for throttle. Left trigger, I believe, decreases the throttle. It doesn't seem to decrease that much. So what I'm doing right there is changing the roll, and that's on the right thumbstick. If you turn it left to right, make sure roll. Up or down is the pitch. And if don't invert the controls, pulling it back I think takes your nose down and up. You'll figure it out. Test it out on an empty server if you can with some friends, because you're probably going to die the first few times you do this. Now what you're seeing happening right here is me trying to adjust to this guy too close to me, really, as it can't make pinpoint accuracy here. And I have the Stinger missiles, I believe, not Stinger missiles. Well, basically the heat-seeking missiles for the jets, and you have to lock onto them and hold them there for about 4 to 5 seconds. Once it's locked, I think you can fire 2. And the way you switch between your weapons is the triangle key on the PlayStation 3. I play in the PlayStation 3. I'm sorry, I don't know on the Xbox, but basically it's the same key for switching weapons, I believe. Yeah, so here I finally get a lock on him, I think, and he's probably going to have flares because he seems like a good pilot. Oh, come on, lock on. You can also spot, but you're almost doing finger gymnastics when you're doing this. And the one thing you have to really try and be careful of when you're up and flying is where you're at in relation to the map, how high you are, what's going on around you, so you don't get too high. If you get too high, you basically stall and fall to the ground. And if you happen to be out of bounds, you're probably going to miss everything. So there we go. I decided to start shooting him with my guns because he jumped out. Or the other guy got him. I'm not sure what happened there. But anyhow, so you can control the yaw of your plane with the left thumbstick, and that is the yaw is the side-to-side motion. You can kind of use that to target a little better on the ground, I find, than anything really in the air. I'm not an ace pilot. I'm never going to claim to be. I just love doing it, and there's probably better techniques for how to turn, how to track targets. I just recently unlocked the proximity sensors. That helps a little bit to gain somebody on your tail, somebody close to you can kind of turn in and get a better run at them. Doing strafing runs on the ground is really tough. And so here's I'm trying to show you an example. I switch to my guns. I suggest spotting first at this point. Just spam the spot button, because you'll probably light up a few targets. When you light up those targets, you can then strafe them pretty quick. Tanks are one of the most susceptible things to that. So you light up a tank, coming down and just light them up with the guns, and you'll probably get a few points for destruction, maybe disable. That helps to level up your weapons. I'm trying to get to the rockets right now, not the heat seekers, but just the regular rocket tubes, basically, so that I can try and take out some tanks with that. So other than that, just try and experiment. The boosters don't work in Rush, I find, but you have boosters here, so you can kind of lead yourself out a little bit further, come around for a strafing run, or just to get yourself out of trouble. It works. And they're pretty fun. I think the sounds, especially, are just amazing. Even if you're on the ground and you hear a jet coming, it sounds so realistic. Because I literally walked outside after filming this, and a jet was going over in a clouded day. It sounded identical to the game, and it was eerie. And there, I got a lock on me here. And so I'm trying to set up flares. Wait for the lock to go to tone. If you hear the beeping, that means they're tracking you and they're getting close to this. But they haven't necessarily got you blocked. Helicopters are pretty good at this, and they're a little slower, so you might be able to hit them a little faster. But you have to be careful if you're coming in on them really, really fast in a jet. You're probably going to blow right by them, right? Because they're moving as fast as you. Just missed that guy there. I think somebody on the ground has me targeted there. And I hit this thing and blow up. That'll happen a lot if you go in a bit too low. But anyhow, message me with some more questions if you have them. Join me in game. Look for me on the PlayStation 3. Having a ball. This game is beast. Take care.